When Africa announces plans for nuclear energy, the world's reaction is very different from when the West does the same. Suddenly, words like risky and unstable dominate the headlines. But is the concern really about safety, or about Africa taking control of its own future? This isn't just about reactors. It's about challenging an old narrative that kept Africa as a supplier, not a builder. The real fear? Africa flipping the switch on both its power grid and the global balance of power. For decades, South Africa's Coburg plant stood alone as the continent's only nuclear power station, quietly generating electricity on the edge of the Atlantic. But today, that story is rapidly changing. Across Africa, a new wave of nuclear ambition is taking shape, fueled by the urgent need for reliable, clean energy to power growing cities and industries. Egypt is building the massive El Daba plant with Russian support, aiming to become a regional energy powerhouse. Meanwhile, Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, is pushing forward with its own nuclear plans, determined to overcome chronic power shortages and unlock new economic opportunities for millions. Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Zimbabwe are also stepping up, signing agreements for new, flexible reactors designed to fit their unique needs. These countries are betting on nuclear to deliver not just electricity, but jobs, skills, and a new sense of technological independence. Russia and China are leading the charge, offering financing, construction expertise, and training for local workers, shifting alliances away from traditional Western partners and creating new networks of cooperation across the continent. This isn't just about energy. It's about African nations choosing partners who invest in their vision, respect their priorities, and help them build for the future on their own terms. Each new project is a step toward energy abundance, not scarcity, a chance to light up homes, power factories, and drive progress in communities that have waited too long for reliable electricity. The nuclear map of Africa is being redrawn by Africans, for Africans, as a new generation of engineers and scientists take the lead in shaping their continent's energy destiny. The era of waiting for permission is over. Africa's nuclear future is being built now, by those who call it home. Energy is freedom, the power to study, heal, and build without interruption. For years, Africa's dependence on imported fuels and foreign aid held back its growth. Nuclear power offers steady, reliable energy, enabling countries to process resources at home and plan for the future. With uranium deposits in Namibia and Niger, Africa can fuel its own reactors and break free from global market shocks. Energy independence means economic independence and dignity. This is about Africa shaping its own destiny, not just keeping the lights on. Western media often questions if Africa is ready for nuclear power, using language that casts doubt and subtly undermines African progress. Headlines and reports are filled with skepticism, focusing on supposed risks and uncertainties, rather than the continent's ambitions or achievements. This narrative isn't just about nuclear energy. It's about who gets to decide what's possible, and who is seen as capable of shaping the future. By constantly framing Africa as a place of perpetual risk, these stories reinforce old hierarchies and power dynamics. Real challenges exist, of course, but the same level of scrutiny and suspicion isn't applied to nuclear projects in Europe, North America, or Asia. The double standard is clear. When African nations partner with Russia or China, these relationships are often painted as dangerous or threatening, as if Africans are merely pawns in a global game. This perspective ignores the reality. African leaders are making strategic decisions, weighing their options, and asserting agency in a complex world. The real issue at stake isn't about technology or safety. It's about Africa making its own choices, setting its own agenda, and refusing to be bound by outdated rules or external expectations. By building nuclear capacity, Africa is not just generating electricity, it's gaining leverage, asserting independence, and sending a clear message. It will not be held back by narratives rooted in the past. The real fear isn't about Africa's technical capabilities. It's about the loss of control as Africa steps confidently into its own future. Africa's nuclear ambition is about more than just generating electricity. It's about unlocking the continent's full potential and shaping its own destiny. This vision is unapologetically African, rooted in the belief that the continent can lead with innovation, resilience, and pride. By embracing nuclear energy, Africa is not only seeking to power its cities and industries, but also to empower its people and future generations. But let's not forget the countries that are almost never mentioned in these conversations: the Gambia, Sierra Leone, Togo, Guinea-Bissau, Comoros, Central African Republic, Chad, and Liberia. These nations continue to suffer from fragile grids, power shortages, and rising energy poverty. In many of these countries, entire villages go dark every night. Children struggle to study, hospitals rely on unreliable generators, and businesses can't survive long without basic electricity. This is why Africa's nuclear rise must include everyone, not just the big economies, but every nation that has been left in the dark for too long. Because energy justice is not just about power, it's about fairness, dignity, and opportunity for all. Reliable power means thriving businesses that can compete globally, hospitals that save more lives with uninterrupted care, and new industries that add value at home rather than exporting raw materials. It means students can study after dark, entrepreneurs can innovate, and families can live with dignity and hope. Regional energy hubs like Egypt and South Africa could power entire regions, fostering economic growth, stability, and cooperation across borders. These centers of innovation can become beacons for the continent, sharing expertise and resources to uplift neighboring nations. This future won't be handed to Africa. It will be built by Africans with unity, vision, and unwavering confidence. It's a future shaped by the hands and minds of those who call this continent home, determined to create lasting change. The challenges are real, technical, financial, and political, but so is the determination to overcome them. Every obstacle is met with ingenuity, hard work, and a belief in a brighter tomorrow. Africa's nuclear journey is a declaration of self-determination and a new narrative, written in the streets and laboratories of Lagos, Nairobi, and Kinshasa. It's a story of progress, ambition, and hope, told by Africans for the world to see. The future is bright, and this time Africa holds the switch, ready to illuminate its own path forward on its own terms. If you found this video valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to Divine Earth Africa, so we can keep telling Africa's true story together.